Welcome to Inside Games, the only gaming news show brave enough to bring you yet another story of Microsoft layoffs.
Damn, man. At this point, why do we even bother recording a new episode? Shit. We got this one in the can a couple times over. Let's just pull out a rerun.
I mean, the memes are fresh. This time around, we can make jokes about the trans aliens eating all our pets. And even then, we probably shouldn't make jokes about it because things are actually happening. It's just the worst.
Fresh memes would have sounded like the insane ramblings of a deranged person if we said it the last time Microsoft did layoffs, but now it seems weirdly topical.
So we've got some more workplace tumult this week. In addition to that, Perna Interactive's entire team walked off the job after workplace negotiations fell through. But just as it seems as the entire industry is sliding into unemployed chaos, Tony Hawk emerges with a tiny ray of hope.
At the last hour, at the darkest of night, Tony Hawk kickflips in. Yeah, it's we got some bad news. We got some hopefully good news this week. It's diverse. And hey, speaking of diversity, time to throw to yet another white dude to kick off the news. Ryan, tell us about Microsoft's post-acquisition layoff spree.
Yeah, some bad news. Yet again, to start off the roundup, Microsoft did another huge round of layoffs. And if you're wondering, yeah, it's because of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. That's exactly why they did it. So Xbox boss Phil Spencer sent out a memo Thursday to staffers announcing that they are cutting 650 jobs from their gaming business. So yeah, it's a huge bummer. So I don't mean to sound cold-hearted. It's people, real people with real jobs. In the memo, IGN got a copy of it. Spencer said layoffs came from mostly corporate and support roles and were done, quote, to organize our business for long-term success.
He continued on, the cuts won't result in the cancellation of any games, devices, or experiences, and no studios are being closed. Somehow, the studio that made Hellblade 2 is still open. I'm very happy for them, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, let's hope. There's some studio darlings still living yet under Microsoft's management. We're counting the days. It's kind of interesting that they can trim that many numbers without affecting any games, services, or products, though. One Blizzard senior game writer, Sydney King, wrote on X that she had been laid off, posting, "It's been an amazing 2 years with Blizzard's SFD team."
And GameFile, this is, I believe, Stephen Totillo's newsletter, reported that while most layoffs were in Activision Blizzard corporate and support roles, other cuts were made to teams of 2 Activision Blizzard mobile games, specifically Warcraft Rumble and Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
So in the memo, Phil made it pretty clear that the acquisition is the reason for the cuts. He wrote, quote, "For the past year, our goal has been to minimize disruption while welcoming new teams and enabling them to do their best work. As part of aligning our post-acquisition team structure and managing our business," oh my God, geez, holy hell. "We've made the decision to eliminate approximately 650 roles across Microsoft Gaming, mostly corporate and supporting functions, to organize our business for long-term success." Translation, the number must go up, and so they have to cut costs.
It's number upping time, number upping season. And I'm sure everyone that lost their job is more than happy to know that they played a part in aligning Microsoft's post-acquisition team structure and managing their business. Nothing helps you sleep more than that, does it? I joke to drive away the evil. That's what I do. And of course, this story is yet another unfortunate development in a series of just hatchet swings following Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft has let go of 2,550 gaming business staff from its gaming businesses since the acquisition last year.
Yeah, earlier this year, Microsoft cut 1,900 jobs in its gaming business and got a lot of headlines after it closed Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks and Arcane Austin, which developed Redfall. And as we've reported in the past, officials have said Microsoft has kind of ignored the gaming business before because the bottom line number wasn't that big. But after the acquisition, which was $69 billion, yeah, they're paying a lot more attention to the bottom line.
Absolutely. Microsoft also apparently instructed Xbox social media accounts to go dark during the layoff announcements on Thursday. The Verge's Tom Warren said they didn't want to repeat the fiasco of the layoffs earlier this year, during which Xbox also posted an announcement for a new controller with the tagline, "Feel the burn today." Nice job. Way to go, everybody.
The fact that happened in the first place means that they're weirdly not very experienced at layoffs, and it's weird to see them get better at it over time. I have a lot of thoughts, but it's the same old thing. I mean, we weren't excited for the acquisition to go through because we knew this was coming. I think we're seeing just both from Microsoft and from PlayStation these days, just how cold-hearted business can be. and that sucks. I think on a macro scale in terms of the games industry, I think everyone hit this wall of scale all at the same time, where scaling up and up and up didn't mean more and more and more sales all of a sudden. So now it's about shrinking. It's about reducing costs, not finding more revenue. And that's how you reach more profit. And boy, are they swinging the hatchet hard these days.
And COVID was kind of a bubble, and people staffed up during that. And I don't know if they just thought those times were going to last forever, where we were all at home playing video games. But yeah, the party is over. And, it's just worth keeping this in mind for the future. Whenever you see another big merger of any industry, they'll promise the moon, but layoffs always happen. So just, if you're a viewer, keep this in mind next time there's a gaming merger, grocery industry, whatever, it always results in this.
Always, every time, Brian. You are exactly correct.
And speaking of promises, real quick, didn't Phil Spencer say Call of Duty was going to come to the Switch? Where is that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did.
That's his wall. Port that COD.
It's not even on Game Pass Standard anymore.
Yeah, shit. Well, we'll get there, but damn. Deal's getting worse all the time, man.
All right, moving on to more crazy industry news. The staff at the beloved publisher Annapurna Interactive has actually quit.
Bloomberg reported Thursday that the whole staff at Annapurna Interactive, which is the gaming division of the larger company Annapurna, all resigned after they failed to convince their owner Megan Ellison to let them spin off the games division into a new company.
That actually sounds kind of rad. I know it's volatile, but hell yeah. When Ellison, who is the daughter of billionaire Larry Ellison, pulled out of the negotiations, Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary and other executives resigned and were followed by around 24 other staffers.
Yeah, here's a quote. All 25 members of the Annapurna Interactive team collectively resigned, Gary told Bloomberg. This is one of the hardest decisions we've ever had to make, and we did not take this action lightly. And I'm sure that that's absolutely true. And I kind of stand with them here at this point. This to me sounds like they're fighting the man, and I appreciate that.
I wouldn't want to work for a billionaire's kid either. Straight up. The publisher, though, Annapurna Interactive, widely loved for games like Stray, Outer Wilds, Gorgoa, Neon White, and What Remains of Edith Finch. They've done put out some great games.
Mm-hmm. An Annapurna spokesperson said all existing games and projects will remain under the company. The new president, Hector Sanchez, has told developers that the company will honor existing contracts and will replace the departing staffers. That's a lot of headcount to churn over and keep business going as usual. But it's easy to root for him. I don't know. It's a bit of projection, but Bruce, I think we can identify with this. Once you've been making the sausage yourself long enough, and once you even see the bankrolls, once you see the paperwork, and you realize, wait a minute, I'm running this business. Why am I giving all the money it earns to somebody else to do with whatever they want? And suddenly you start to think, oh, maybe I could just do this on my own. So hopefully that's what they do. Hopefully they take all of their positive business connections with them, open an independent studio, make some money, and make some good games.
I would love to see that. We're going to have a lot of professional economists in the comments for this whole thing about how, they're fighting the billionaire. But gonna be honest with you, at this point, anybody fighting a billionaire, I'm on their side. So I somebody that's got billions and billions of dollars, I don't really feel bad for him. I'm just gonna say it.
Her dad owns his own island, so yeah, I'm gonna be on the other side.
Yeah.
And speaking of easy sides to take, this is a fun one. Turns out that the new tier of Game Pass, the one that's kind of replacing Xbox Live Gold or whatever, sucks. Shocker. If you're a regular standard tier Game Pass subscriber, you're going to miss out on some big games, which was supposed to be the opposite point of Game Pass in the first place.
Yeah, you might remember Microsoft announced a new Game Pass tier, well, a bunch of tiers in July, and the changes went into effect this week. And it's not good if you're on the standard one. The first thing was they jacked up the price. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate jumped from $16.99 to $19.99 a month, and that's sort of most of the typical benefits you're used to, but the $15 Game Pass standard tier is now missing a lot of stuff, and very intentionally so, it feels like.
Oh, of course. IGN pointed out that the standard tier, which replaced Game Pass for console, doesn't have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Starfield, Diablo 4, just to name a few of these games. That's at $15 a month.
Yeah, that's what, 50% more than the cheapest PlayStation Plus tier, which is 10? And even 10 sucks to have to pay to play a game or console you already bought. It gets worse. Standard tier players don't get day one titles or access to EA Play and Xbox Cloud Gaming. They also don't get perks, quests, and discount on games in their Game Pass library.
They get to turn on their console.
Maybe.
Microsoft also said standard tier players won't get access to, quote, specific entries to the Game Pass Ultimate Library. They were fuzzy on which, but thanks to Reset Era user Vixilus, they compiled a list of exactly what was left out.
Yeah, there's a total of 41 games that standard tier players don't have access to, which also includes Forza Motorsport, MLB The Show 24, Octopath Traveler 2, Payday 3, and Age of Mythology Retold. I have been saying that they are going to do this for years, and now my predictions have officially come true. I said over and over they were going to raise the price. I said over and over they were going to change the tiers, and here we are, folks. I told you it was going to happen, and it did.
Yeah, at the very least, they haven't added a new, even more expensive ultra duper premium tier for Call of Duty yet. Man, it sucks. The thing is, like, I'm pretty sure Spencer said this specifically in an earnings call or something like that, that they feel like they have hit all of the Game Pass subscribers they can get to on the Xbox console. So they are done trying to onboard new people with deals. Now it's about squeezing the ones they've got. And I think the intention is to make the value gap between the basic tier and $20 tier so little that people just go for the $20 one. And it's just part of the same thing. They're trying to just funnel the people they've got up to higher costs. Luckily, they're still competing on PC. PC Game Pass is still good and cheaper because they still think they have customers to gain on PC. So eventually that's going to turn the other way too. But at least now on PC, it's not so bad. But yeah, Bruce was right. There's going to come a time where they want to earn money instead of earning customers. And you don't want to be around when that switch gets flipped.
All right, let's talk about something happier, and that's Tony Hawk, the skateboarding legend, says he is in conversations with Activision again. On the cooking show Mythical Kitchen, the host brought up the fact that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater turns 25 this year, and basically asked Hawk, well, what's next? What's next for the franchise?
Oh man, I really like Tony Hawk. He seems like a great guy. I don't know that he is, but he seems like one. Hawk responded, quote, "I wish I could tell you more, but I can tell you that I've been talking to Activision again. We're working on something which is insanely exciting."
He added that it will be something the fans will truly appreciate.
Also, shout out, just a side note, to Mythical Kitchen for putting the sound clip on TikTok. Just by itself, it was like 10 seconds. It made my job so much easier when I quoted this, so thank you guys. But yeah, some background. Back in 2022, Hawk said that a second collection of remakes of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was planned following the very well-received Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, but that got scrapped after developer Vicarious Visions was absorbed into Activision, and they sort of had a lot of confidence in Vicarious to do a good job. So maybe more remakes, maybe something else, who knows?
A remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Ooh,
Wow, what? I don't even know there was a 5.
Yeah, you don't remember? Everybody hated it.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's with Activision Blizzard, Microsoft inherited this sort of war chest of old IPs that boomers all remember. And those are easy tickets to pull on nostalgia strings to hopefully get Game Pass subs. So yeah, if they make a new premium Tony Hawk game, and then they can use that as a marketing vehicle to try to get people to sign up for Game Pass, makes a lot of sense.
All right, let's do a 5-second review. This week we're talking about Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. And I bring this up because I want to try this, but Warhammer as a franchise is like the most intimidating thing ever. So I don't like it. It's one of those things where you talk to somebody who plays and they're like, yeah, there's actually, 3 years of lore that you need to read up on first. So I don't know. I heard it's good though, so I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, don't let them sway you, Brian. The game's great. And you know what? Just don't even care about the lore. Just enjoy the game.
He's shooting aliens. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, is this StarCraft? And then I was like, oh no, but StarCraft was definitely inspired by it a little bit.
I like how all the 5-second reviews so far have largely been from games you haven't played yet.
I know.
All right, let's move on to the upcoming games for this week. Up first, The Plucky Squire. Storybook characters discover a three-dimensional world outside the pages of their book and must jump between 2D and 3D realms to save their friends in this charming action adventure. It comes to PC, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X on September 17th.
Man, I'm so excited for that one. Speaking of, I'm excited for this one too. This is for the boomers out there. UFO 50 is a collection of 50 single and multiplayer games that span a variety of genres, from platformers and shoot-'em-ups to puzzle games, roguelikes, and RPGs. Our goal is to combine a familiar 8-bit aesthetic with new ideas and modern game design. UFO 50 comes to PC on September 18th.
Next up, God of War Ragnarok. It's, you know what God of War is. It's an action-adventure game where players take on the role of Kratos and his son as they embark on a quest to prevent the coming of Ragnarok. Players explore the 9 realms, you battle enemies in close-up, hand-to-hand combats against human-like raiders and fantastical creatures. Comes to PC September 19th.
Boy. Up next, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Boy, does that need more subtitles? Dead Rising returns with modern graphics. More than just a remaster, this deluxe remaster is a full graphical overhaul of the first game in the zombie slaughtering action game series Dead Rising. This remaster also has been fully voiced, supports autosaves, and has various other quality of life features. It comes to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X September 19th.
And that first Dead Rising was bonkers. What a game, man. What a game. Next, Frostpunk 2, a game that's almost as depressing as this week's news. Develop, expand, and advance your city in a society survival game set 30 years after an apocalyptic blizzard ravaged Earth. In Frostpunk 2, you face not only the perils of never-ending winter, but also the powerful factions that watch your every step inside the council hall. Frostpunk 2 comes to PC on September 20th.
And last but not least, The Karate Kid Street Rumble. Dominate the dojo in Karate Kid Street Rumble, a pixel art beat-em-up adventure. Grab your friends for local co-op multiplayer and dive into the classic Karate Kid journey with retro-style gameplay, dynamic combat, and epic boss battles. Comes to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, September the 20th.
Hey, you know what? Luckily, we here at Inside Games have not had to lay off thousands of people yet. We haven't even had to lay off Brian, and that's good because we don't want to lay off Brian. We like Brian. And that's completely due to your support on the Inside Games Patreon. So we had a few patrons we'd like to shout out and say thank you, as always. Alex Stone, Talia Monochrome, Brown Sugar, and Aaron Fraze.
Yeah, usually we like to toss a few jokey titles onto our patrons, but I don't know, when we're talking about layoffs, a sincere thank you seems a lot more appropriate. So thank you very much, Brandon Popovich, Keita White, Jose Diaz, and Jared Watkins.